Keith. You know, we talk about goals all the time, and typically it's like, what am I going to do this year? What am I going to do this month? There's short-term goals, and of course there's long-term goals. What we're going to talk about right now is long-term goals, and I have a whole new perspective for you. I want you to think about it as a 5-year vision. 5-year vision, and what I'm going to share with you is some questions you may want to ask yourself when you're setting up your 5-year vision. I mean, we all dream, so let's get it on paper so you know exactly where you're going to end up in 5 years. So the first one I want you to think about is, where am I going to be living? So we'll just put down where, okay? Where am I going to be living? But of course, you want to describe that in a little more sense other than saying I'm going to be in Colorado. I think you want to be saying specifically what type of house, what type of an environment, what the area is like, etc. The second question you're going to need to ask yourself is, what are my personal goals? So we'll just put PG down there. What are my personal goals? Now, this is not business at all. This is specifically, what do you want for yourself? What do you want for your family? Health-wise, all the things. 5 years from now, what's it look like? It's going to be fun, right? You look forward and you say, here's where I'm going to end up 5 years from now. Number 3 is, what does my business look like? What does my career look like? Will I even be doing the same thing? Will I be working for the same company? Will I be working with the same people? My career, what's that going to be like? Outline it and figure out exactly what you want, where you want to be 5 years from now that way. Then once you establish your career, the next one is production results. What are my results going to be in this career? How much am I going to be selling? Now here's an important thing for you to note, and this is where you will get off track a little bit. What you want to do is, let's say you said, okay, I'm going to be selling 100 of something in 5 years. You might say, okay, how much would I be selling in 4 years? So in the 5th year, I would hit 100. Well, you might say, I'd have to sell 90. And the 3rd year, I'd have to sell 80. So you back up a little bit into this year. So that's a good way to take you to the 5th year. But this bottom line is, you need to know where you're going. And the last one, number 5, that I want you to think about is, what 2 or 3 skills, what 2 or 3 skills would I have to accomplish, would I have to get really good at in order to take my business to that level? So write them down. You know, it could be, I have to get better at being consistent, or I have to get better at using scripts and dialogues and saying the right things on an ongoing basis. I have to get better at presenting. It could be anything. But figure out what those skills are, and then you start working on them, because all this doesn't happen unless you have the skills to build your business and take it to another level. Now, there's one more component here that you really need to be conscious of, and that's called the all-important accountability. How are you going to be held accountable to do all this? Because I'll tell you right now, if it was easy to do, you would have already done it, right? So you need accountability in place. Who's going to hold your feet to the fire, and what's the outside influence that's going to take you to another level? That, of course, is what we do in the coaching. We take people who can get to this level and help them go to that level. And as you know, a great coach is someone who won't let you settle for what you think is your best. Check out our coaching. At the same time, make sure you've got a 5-year vision written down and work towards it. Look forward to your results 5 years from now.